Hello, everybody. Welcome. Tonight is the 23rd of August, and this is Dallas Personal Robotics Group Robot Builders Night virtual. And we're going to do the usual tonight and just go around the table and see what people have to say about their robots or questions on things related to robots primarily. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping. So late August is coming up really soon. It turns out this Saturday, we are going to have a flash mob. DPRG is going to do a flash mob, and we're going to jump in on the Seattle Robotics Society virtual Robothon exhibition from 2 to 5. We're also going to, it's going to be a hybrid event that we're contributing to, since we'll have a handful of people in Dallas in the lecture hall, not the interactive classroom, but the lecture hall. And we will join remotely to Seattle. And our own Doug Dodgson, I think we moved him up to spot number 5. Donna graciously swapped with him because we can only get the room until 5 and other meetings in there. So if the Seattle Robothon goes on beyond 5, I have a backup room reserved, but there'll have to be a quick room swap for us. Anyhow, that's coming up this Saturday, the 27th. Also, we're going to do, it's not potential anymore. There's going to be at least one person, Doug P. will be bringing free stuff. So if you have things in your garage that you want to unload or trade with other folk, bring it along. And the idea is that whatever doesn't trade will populate the Makerspace free shelf. And then on the 12th of November, we have Robo Columbus coming up. Hopefully, folk are having good luck with their builds. And that's all I got for housekeeping, unless somebody has anything else to throw in here. Okie doke. Then with that, we have in queue, we have Ray interested to start up with something, and then Kareem has a little something to share. So Ray, take it away.
Actually, if Kareem, if you're ready, could you go first? I'm trying to get a decent view of what I've done here, but the cameras aren't working that well.
I am not ready.
You are not ready.
Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I was just going to show a video.
Well, then we'll have a free for all. But yeah.
DPRG.org.
We could always start off answering any questions Charles might have since he's new.
DPRG.org.
That works too.
Jesus.
Well, I think, Charles, you've been here before, but if you had any topics or questions, feel free to just jump right in anytime, and do our best to help if we can.
I've got a little.
I did.
Are we waiting on somebody? You say we could say something if we had chose to?
Jump right in.
Yeah, I mentioned this last week, but I've been messing with anybody interested in a CAD. I've messed with several of them over the year, but I've never worked with Onshape, and I find it a very good CAD program. It saves everything in the cloud. You can go from one computer to the next without having to back it up into the cloud somewhere. I'm just saying, if you're looking around for a good CAD program, I know there's good ones out there. You got Fusion 360, and this Onshape is I give it 2 thumbs up for free CAD program for the hobbyist. I've been going through their online classes. They've got excellent tutorials you don't have to go hunt around on YouTube for a tutorial on it. Their website has really good breakdowns and of classes that they want to get you up and going on this stuff so you can spread the word for it. So anyway, I just shout out to Onshape if anybody's interested in a CAD program. So that's all I got.
Okay, Mike, is it just, I have never heard of that particular program. So is it CAD or is it CAD and CAM? Otherwise, can you like do toolpaths with it after you?
I don't think it's CAM. Maybe the paid version is CAM.
Yeah.
It's just CAD.
Okay.
But all I do is 3D. It's probably, is it CAD only?
Yeah, it's CAD only.
Yeah.
So
I use it too for all my 3D printing. It's really nice.
Yeah. It's really, and that's all I do is 3D printing, so I don't really need a CAM program for it. So, but the good thing about it is it's web based, and you just, open up a web page, and there you are. Once you log on, and so no CAM. Apparently, these guys said they're in. So,
yeah. Okay. Looks like Ray's got something going here.
Yeah, I think. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, video is incredibly slow. Added a bumper to the front here. 3D printed some basically hinges on either side there, and that hangs over the front. So just a strip of plastic, and the springs on the switches aren't quite strong enough, so I'm kind of experimenting with sheet foam right here to basically add a little bit more springiness to it. I'm just worried that if it catches anything, on the bottom edge here, it's gonna trigger it. The other thing that I've done is added some plumbing. You always have to have plumbing on your robot. Anyway, this is to get kind of a mast, so I can mount like a camera. And on the backside here is the B&O 055. And I also have to get it away from the this plate, or actually the antenna, which has a magnet in it, which affects the B&O 055 if it's too close. I think mechanically, I still have to add a mount for this to kind of put it in the center. Otherwise, I think everything else has been done. I've had it outside. It seems like it can find, 3 GPS points. I've integrated an OpenMV H7, and it can find cans. I don't know if it's going to give me issues with being outside, but one of the things that you can do, or I can do, is pick like multiple levels of either, LAB or YUV settings, one going from the very dimmest and to the like full sun, and have it, if it doesn't find any blobs, within the first few values, run through like 10 of them to see if it'll catch any. And it's fairly fast. It's doing 50 frames per second at this point. And I've hooked it up so it's actually a UART port to the ESP32, which is down right there. Anyway, so things are coming along. I don't think I'm going to go with plumbing for the backside here, or for this thing. I'm just going to 3D print something to hold that kind of in the center of the frame. And this particular frame, it's actually made out of like U-shaped plastic channels. Like you can kind of see it, over and up. And 2 of those are bolted together. side by side, and then I have aluminum angle iron in the front here and in the back, and that's stiffening the frame. And so this is two-wheel drive. Same tires. I made hubs for it. It had to be 10 millimeters on the inside and 3/4 on the outside to fit over this motor shaft. And if you can see that little pin right here, that's what pins this wheel to the shaft. But anyway, so things are coming along. It's, everything's working out so far. I don't know if there's going to be integration issues further down, but so far so good.
Great. Ray, when I took my antenna like that with the magnet in it,
yeah,
what I found was it's just a piece of foil with their labeling on it.
Uh-huh.
And then if you just make a little hole in the center of that foil, you can take a screwdriver and pop that magnet right out. Because it's being held in by like a metal cup.
Yeah.
So it's not attached to anything per se. So you can
right.
Removing that magnet's not a problem.
Okay. I'll give that a shot.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all I had. Had updates on the plumbing.
Okay, yeah.
Are you going to add a P-trap, right?
No, it's just going to have to smell. So it was kind of convenient to be able to use plumbing. It's pretty tough. I mean, it's hard to break those. I don't know what those are made of. Maybe ABS. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're ABS.
Yeah, they come in a bunch of sizes. So,
so just so I understand, Pat is known for his wood-bearing robot, and you're known for your PVC robot.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to point out that Roby uses both.
He's universal. So. Anyway, yeah, so it's working out pretty good so far. I can't complain. I guess I don't know, all these delays. I started out with a 4-wheel drive platform and then decided, okay, well, those motors are drawing way too much current for the batteries that I had. I think each one can draw up to like 25 amps, and that's not going to last very long on a 4,500 milliamp battery. I don't even know if it'd make it through the course on the way back up the hill, because that's when it would be drawing the most amount of current. So that's why I switched to the other motors, and 2-wheel drive has a lot less friction than 4-wheel drive. And anyway, guess that's what happens when you change.
They look like pretty beefy motors still, though. I mean, they look like pretty beefy motors still. So I mean, you shouldn't have any problems.
Yeah, they don't at 15 volts or so. Each one draws a little bit less than an amp. So that's pretty good. They're actually 22 volt motors.
Yeah. So that's 22 watts. Yeah. So that's 22 watts is not very big, but it's still 22 watts. So you have 44 watts.
It's pretty slow. I don't know if I'm going to break any speed records with it. Probably not.
It looks good. You've already hit 3. Have you had your camera find a cone? You said it finds cone. You can, but that's inside, right? That's just your normal. Camera in your normal robot.
Yeah. I wanted to ask a question about the cone. Is it a solid color?
Ours are.
Okay.
But there is
more reddish.
Yeah, but there's okay. The 2 cones that are the club cones are kind of faded. Oh. There's a 3rd cone that we use, which is cone that I have, my personal cone, and it's brighter red. So, so we, there is in between the cones, there's some difference.
Yeah,
So,
right.
but
But let's be realistic, right? Because even if the paint is uniform on the cones, the reflected light is anything but uniform. And
yeah, you're right. You're right. So
you care much more about the reflected light than I think. Well,
yeah,
it's not
I'm
going
just
to be
saying
better than what's on the cones.
Yeah, yeah. So you said you were going to, okay, you were going to use different light.
Yeah,